What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Dada, and today I'm joined with Horsecock, also known as Tristan, uh,
Hi.
and I am joined by Claw Four, also known as
Oh, I
Fresh
need to
Eats.
change my
Right?
name
Is
on
that it?
here. Yeah, I'm
Is it
changing my name
Fresh
on the
Eat?
server.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
it's Fresh Eat. All right. And anyways, today we have a few topics to talk about.
there we
So,
go.
getting straight into the first topic, we'll be talking about EA's latest Star Wars game, Star Wars Squadrons. So I'll start. I'll start with Tristan. Tristan, what do you think about Star Wars Squadrons?
I think it's a pretty good game, especially in VR. There's definitely a lot of shit that they need to fix ASAP because it kind of makes the game damn near unplayable, especially with the whole ranked matches, to where if somebody leaves, you don't get credit for it, but you still have to wait through the 30-minute game, but you don't get credit for it. And you can't leave because they'll punish you. So, how the fuck does that make sense? Uh, other than that, like gameplay wise, especially if you have a VR headset, the VR is incredibly visually appealing. It's I could just sit there in the cockpit for hours, just like staring at everything. But I think it's a good game. They just need to fix a lot of shit. They need uh they need to listen to their people more instead of just saying like what would the people like instead of actually listening to what the people like. Like I don't understand how they came to the conclusion about that rank thing. That's my biggest gripe. Is if you play a game, someone leaves, it doesn't count, but you can't leave because they'll punish you.
I
Yeah,
Okay.
gotcha. Um,
that's
would you
unfair.
say that VR is like the way to experience Star Wars Squadrons?
Oh, 100%. The game is amazing on its own, like just playing it on a screen. But in VR, I've never had something so immersive in my whole life. Like at like theme parks or whatever, Squadrons is 10 times more immersive in VR because it's like a 360 view. You can look behind you and look at all the shit in the back of your cockpit. You can look all around you. If you lean your head forward, you can look between all the cracks of the planes, and there's actually details in between, like the dashboard and the glass of the plane. You can like look forward and look at all of that. The reflections on the screens whenever you play it's everything's just put together so well in VR. It's so smooth and it's just absolutely seamless. VR is 100% the way to go to play Squadrons, but the game is amazing on its own. um, Strictly gameplay wise, it's incredible. I love it.
Okay. Trey, how do you feel about Star Wars Squadrons?
Uh, I don't want to repeat a lot of what Tristan said because a lot of what he said is what I was gonna say. But I didn't play any of the previous Squadron games. In fact, this is probably one of the uh, first couple Star Wars games I've played in general. Because I just started getting into Star Wars in general. Like watching all the movies. Like I just watched all the movies as of last year, so I'm still kind of new to all this stuff. But I'd say this is probably my second Star Wars game. Dude, it's really fun. I mean, some of the basic stuff, like the graphics look amazing. Uh, the the players in the game, how they talk to each other, that's pretty cool. Um, like the backdrop. I mean, of course, you're in a galaxy, so like it looks. I mean, it looks beautiful. I can only imagine what VR looks like. I've been wanting one for a while, so I'm sure it looks really cool. Um, I think like what's it called, dogfight. When here's what sucks, and here's what I don't get. When you start the game, you have to play what's called dogfight, and it's fun for like maybe the first game until you realize, well, this is retarded. Like, because I'm having to play against like all these sweaty people when in the fleet battles, you get to play with people, but you also get to play with bots too. So I don't know. I always found fleet battles to be more enjoyable to play. Um, they're more relaxed, and there's also, instead of just kill, there's more objective to it. It's not just kill. So like it's not like TDM. If that makes any sense. There's go destroy the starship or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I kind of like that. So, but I agree pretty much with most Tristan said because that's what I was gonna say. One more thing. I like how EA did with this game this time. Like, they didn't like immediately drop in microtransactions. They didn't say they're gonna add any, so we'll see what they do.
Actually, we're gonna be talking about that here in a bit.
All right.
But stay on the topic of the game. I think the graphics are really good. I'll go ahead and give my opinion. Graphics are really good. It feels like you're actually, flying, like or like in this cockpit view of these um, of these fighters. And yeah, sound is amazing. It's a Star Wars game. Sounds graphics are always gonna be amazing. Um, and that's really
Soundtrack
about
is
it. The single player campaign, we haven't really touched on that. It's okay. I'm not going to spoil anything, but there again, there's nothing really spoil. I mean, it's not that great of a story. It's just kind of there, I guess. Um, yeah, dogfight. I don't care for. People are just on your ass way too much. And in terms of fleet battles, I really like fleet battles. Um, so yeah, I would hope. I wish they would add more game modes, but we're about to get to that here in a bit. Any final things to say about Star Wars Squadrons before we move on to the next topic?
Um, I, in the group, it really sucks that I've been the only one so far to experience the VR because I'm kind of like trying to explain this on my own. It's just there's no actual way on how to put how amazing the game looks in VR. It's like, if I mean, I guess that's the whole point of VR in general is to look like you're there. But a lot of these VR games out now are like cartoonish and whatnot. But this game actually looks realistic as shit, and it genuinely feels like you're actually in the cockpit flying around, especially with all the maneuvers you can do, like threading the needle through asteroids and shit like that. I've had multiple times where I've just like reached out to try to grab stuff on my cockpit. I'm like, oh shit, I'm not actually there. Like it looks like hyper realistic, like if you were actually in there. So it's unlike anything else I've ever played before. It's if you get the chance, even if you don't like Star Wars, but there's a headset nearby, give it a try.
Hmm.
It'll change.
It's
It'll
only
change your look
forty
on all
dollars.
games.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
for $40, I think this is a steal. Like,
Oh, absolutely.
Good price tag.
yeah, I mean $40 you're getting a single player campaign, which yeah, it's all right, but you're still getting that. You're getting multiplayer, and also I think one thing we want to talk about is the customization with your ships. Um, there's some cosmetics, and there's also some stuff that actually changes your like how your ship functions. Um, so I think there's over like 100 different components to pick from. And then you have cosmetic stuff like the skin for your starfighter. You have like the little bobbleheads that you can put. You have different like accessories you can put. Like you can have like a Ewok bobblehead on your cockpit or whatever. That's pretty cool. Um, you can also customize like your actual pilot. Um, so that's nice. So yeah, I just wish Fleet Battles had a little more strategy to it. I feel like there's not much strategy to it. You just attack the objectives and that's it. You know what I mean? Um, most of the meta just comes down to how your ships are and how they're kitted. Um, I do think they need to fix rank mode and fix a system where if someone leaves before the game actually starts, so before the game actually starts, you go into this lobby where you're supposed to communicate with your team and plan out strategies and stuff like that. Yeah, first of all, no one talks in this game. That's
Oh
not really
yeah.
the game's fault. It's more of just how people are. Yeah, no one like if
It's
you're playing with
community.
randoms, people won't talk to you. They don't care. People also won't ready up, which is annoying.
That's so fucking frustrating. I don't think I've ever been in a game where everyone's readied up.
Yeah. Another thing too is if you're playing fleet battles, sometimes you can play as the same faction for like 5, 6 games in a row. Like it happened to us a couple of days ago when we were playing as the Empire on fleet battles for 6 games in a row. Now in Dogfight, you can actually change your factions, so you can choose whether or not you want to be the Rebels or the Empire.
I
But in
don't get
Fleet
why you can't
Battles, you
do that.
can't. Um, but yeah, Fleet Battles, it's a really good game mode. It's definitely the best game modes. I mean, Star Wars Squadrons. There again, there's not much competition. Um, but yeah, but anyway, so the problem with rank mode is that if someone leaves, the game just, it continues on, right? And the problem with that is that let's say someone leaves on your team, or you're down a man, so you're automatically going into the match thinking, oh, we're going to lose. Like, what's the point of trying? But it even says that the match isn't going to be scored in the first place. So the game's just forcing you to play it out for absolutely no reason. The game's just wasting your time at that point. And when you try to leave, the game says that it's going to punish you, or like it's saying like the match won't. Let's say it says something like,
The match
um,
won't count against you, but even if you do leave, it still counts against
yeah,
you and
exactly, yeah,
having
yeah,
to
yeah,
ban you.
yeah. It says something like along
Oh,
those lines. And we actually tested that today, me and Zach. We actually left, and it didn't punish us at all.
okay.
So I don't know why that's there. I don't know why they say that. I don't know if that's just like a scare tactic. But yeah, if you're playing a ranked game, just leave. It's not going to do anything to you. Because after I left and after I fully abandoned the match or whatever, I looked at my placement matches and it said I still had 9 out of 10 placement matches. So and that's my 10th match. So if it count as a loss, then it would have counted my 10th placement match as a loss, but didn't do that. All right, is that it for Star Wars Squadrons? Or
No, one more thing.
okay, good.
It reminds me of something else. I don't know if it's just me, but I mean, I'm sitting here using LAN, and it's not like I've got bad internet. Like, mine's pretty decent. I'll have bad days on the occasion, but I don't know. But I've seen where, for me, sometimes when we all queue up and we're in the lobby together, dude, they need to fix, like, I, I don't think it's me, because, like, I can play any game just fine, usually. But, like, we'll start a game and queue up, and I just, for some reason, can't connect to their EA servers. I don't know if that's happened to you guys. I don't know if it's just a me thing, but I find that extremely frustrating, because then that's when you guys are stuck and it's like a 4v5 and I can't join. And better yet, it won't let me rejoin. So I don't know if that's me or what. Has that happened to you guys before? Or
That's
I've
happened to
never
me.
I've never had it happen, but it could just be situational. Like
I don't.
something's fucked up with somewhere along the lines. Like I don't know. I can't really compare my computer to anybody else's because mine has a tenth of the way working processor, so that's probably why my computer crashes all the time. But I don't know. I've never had it happen before, but
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just me, but
could just be bugs in the game.
yeah. But I do find that frustrating. And better yet, maybe that's just me. But here's what I do find frustrating: when that happens, there's no way I'm able to join back, even if there's an open slot. Like I, like I even go to the tab in the game, can't look for a join game. I can spectate. I can't join the game back that I was, queued up in originally. That does drives me insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you lag out on ranked game, you should be automatically allowed to join again.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, all right, moving on to our next topic, which is EA Motive has come out and said that they plan now this is what they're now quote unquote plan. Um, they plan to not release any future DLC for Star Wars Squadrons. That means no new maps, no new cosmetics, no new like ship components, no new ships, no more modes. So pretty much you're paying $40 and you get the base game. That's it. There's no DLC, no microtransactions, none of that. They're they say that they're approaching it this way because they're trying because they want to make a game that because like back in the day, right, like 2006, 2007, 2008, like when DLC really wasn't like a huge thing. You know, like you paid $60 for a game and you actually got the full game. You know, uh,
Hmm.
companies just didn't release half-ass games or half-finished games and then sell you the rest of the content later on. Um, so the reason why they're doing that is because they believe in the old school approach to their games. So
I
how do you guys
respect
feel about
that.
that?
I I mean I respect that. Um, I like the idea and the approach. It's different. Well, we've seen it before, and that's like you said, that's how games used to be. But I like that. But I'm okay with them not maybe adding cosmetics because guess what? There goes microtransactions, right? And that's something EA said they weren't going to do with this game, which I highly respect. Um, but I've never really had an issue with cosmetics as long as they're not game breaking or like put you a leg up in front of everyone else. But whatever. Um, I would like to see new maps though. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Like the maps that are included aren't bad. I'm just saying, maybe in the future, maybe add more. But like, I don't know. I guess we've gotten so used to DLC that like you kind of miss it after playing a game that's just released as it's full and there's nothing else added. So I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I would like to see new ships and new modes and new maps.
Hmm. Yeah,
Uh,
modes too. Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like that would keep the game
yeah,
refreshing as time goes along. And that's my worry with this game is that people are gonna, pay the $40, get the game, be the single player, play, fleet battles for a little bit, and just get bored of it and just get tired
get
of it.
tired.
And
Yeah,
then the game's population is going to die out way sooner than I think it should. 'Cause I really like this game. I really want people to play it for a long time coming. But in its current state, I don't think that's going to really happen. I could be wrong, but
I mean, look at Destiny.
yeah, I mean, well, actually, a ton of people still play Destiny to this
I
day,
don't know
believe it or not.
why, but
I mean, like, it's okay,
it
but
yeah, it's a good game, but I don't see how there's any people that played it from the beginning who are still currently playing it. Like there's no way. There's just not that much shit.
yeah. Another thing too is like each one of the DLCs is like $50.
Yeah, I
I
don't.
mean, you're
That's
forking out
ridiculous.
pretty much a price of another game to play the DLC, which is ridiculous.
$50.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Wow.
yeah. I mean, I I like their approach. I think more game companies should do that. I mean, like Fallout 76 is my go-to example of how not to make a game. And with that game, they had the Fallout First subscription. I think that's what it's called. But um, Bethesda wanted to charge people, and they still are, $100 a year to host a private server, to host like a private server for like you and your friends. And it's like that's something that should just be in the game. That's not something
Yeah.
someone should have to pay $100 a year to do.
I mean,
One
look,
K subs, and we'll buy a server.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. But yeah, I like the approach. Any more on that or
I mean, I think that they're just begging to have their game die out. I mean, it's an all right approach, but it's an all right approach for a smaller game. But I feel like this game could be a lot bigger than what they think it could be. The fact that they're just saying that there's not going to be any DLC, so there's nothing to look forward to, is it's kind of it's kind of sad to me because the game is just amazing. Like I was saying in VR, there's not a game I'd rather play more in VR than Squadrons because it's just that truly great looking. But people are going to get so bored of it so fast because you can only play the same three or four maps over and over and over again in the same game mode over and over and over again. You're going to get bored of it
yeah, and
really
also not
fast.
to mention you're also using the same four ships too.
Yeah, same four
So I
ships
mean,
on each side, and you're eventually going to be like, all right, well, got a really nice skin for each one of these ships. Got skin for pilots on both sides. All right. What else is there to do?
Yeah, I mean
Nothing.
it's Star Wars. They could do a lot with it, right? Like Star Wars is one of those like those game franchises, I mean, it's also a movie franchise, but in terms of like it being a game, you can do so much with it, right? Because I mean, it's fucking Star Wars, like you know what I mean? Like the possibilities are just endless, So I think
Yeah.
they really missed out on that. Like, I mean. I mean, obviously, like, honestly, I would pay for the DLC because I like the game and
Oh
I
yeah, I'd
want
pay
to
for that too.
support this type of gaming. So I would even pay like $5, $10 for a DLC. You know, what I mean, granted, I wouldn't pay $50 for a season pass, but I would actually pay for a DLC for this game because I like the game. I want EA to make more games like this. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they missed like a huge opportunity to make this game just a lot better than it already is. So,
Yeah.
um,
They executed the game extraordinarily well. It was a fantastic game, but then they just kind of sunk their ship
yeah.
almost immediately.
Mm. All right. Moving on to our next topic. Um, Games being delayed. Nowadays, Um, again, going back to Fallout 76, I believe that game should have been uh majorly delayed. However, it wasn't. And I think this is a quote directly from Todd Howard, where I'm paraphrasing here, where he said, "It's not about how you launch a game; it's about how the game continues to progress and progress and progress." Which I think that's absolutely bullshit. Like, I mean, I feel like at a game's launch, it should be at least worth the asking price. And if you want to add more shit to it, make it better later on, that's fine. Um, but yeah, a lot of games nowadays are getting delayed. Like Cyberpunk 2077, that got delayed 3 times, I believe. It was supposed to come out in April of 2020, and then it got delayed to September 17th, and then it got delayed to November 19th of this year. So it's been delayed like three
Still
times.
rather see a game like be finished and wait forever than a game be half-assed and unplayable and be released early.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
But I think games like Cyberpunk have kind of shown, the developers like, yeah, it's okay to, delay your game. You know what I mean? Like people will
yeah,
wait for a good game. Another example is Halo Infinite got delayed to next year, which I think that's more of a big deal than Cyberpunk because Halo Infinite was supposed to launch alongside Xbox's newest console, the Xbox Series X, right? And Halo, for many people, that's why you buy an Xbox, right? So that being launched alongside of the Xbox Series X, it was meant to where people would want to go out and buy an Xbox Series X day one, but it's being delayed until 2021. It could be early 2021, late. We don't know. They haven't updated us on anything.
I
Um,
think it hurt Xbox sales too. It's a
I
big
think
exclusive.
Yeah, I think it will for in the beginning, but I feel like if Halo Infinite is a really good game, it'll actually benefit Microsoft, in the long term. Because if Halo Infinite came out, and let's be honest, like I don't know if you guys watched any of the gameplay, like when they showed it during Xbox's E3 or whatever. Um, it was looking a little rough. Like the graphics weren't that good. I mean, they were all right, but you're trying to showcase like your major exclusive on your latest console. You would think it would look better, right? It looked all right. Um, but yeah, it was looking a little rough, and so I think them delaying the game, giving the developers more time was the right decision. Um, although part of me is still a little salty because I was really looking forward to playing a new Halo game this fall. I mean, I mean, I think actually, yeah, this month will make it 5 years since Halo 5 came out. So it's been almost 5 years since we've had like a new Halo game, as a Halo fan, and we're gonna have to wait another year, I guess. So, but at the end of the day, I'm glad they took that decision. I bet it was a pretty hard decision too, just given how big Halo Infinite was supposed to be for the Xbox Series X at launch. But yeah, I think they made the right call. Um, you guys have anything else to say on games being delayed and
I
Not really.
I just
not really?
swear to God, if they fucking delay Cyberpunk again, I'm gonna put a hole right through my monitor.
They're not. They're not. I think they already came out. I mean, the game has already gone gold. It went gold this past Monday. Um, so they're not going to do it. It's already being So yeah.
I got
Sorry.
I got that shit pre-ordered,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna be playing it.
Yeah. But no, Tristan. November 19th, you will be able to play Cyberpunk 2077. So
I fucking hope so. On November 19th, there's gonna be a video out on my channel about fucking Cyberpunk.
yeah. Um. So yeah. Trey, you didn't have anything else to say?
No, not really.
All right, and on to our final topic of today is it's not really gaming related, um, but it is about community colleges and why people tend to look down on them. Trey, I mean, I feel like me and you have the most experience with this. We both
Hmm.
went to a community college, and then you actually got your associates uh, degree from a local community college. Um,
Out
me,
west.
yeah, me. I went to two different community colleges. I went to the one that Trey graduated from for a semester. And then for about a year, I went to another local community college, and now I'm going to a university. So Trey, in your opinion, I'll go ahead and ask you this first. In your opinion, why do you think people tend to look down on I can't speak today. Sorry, guys. Why do you think people look down on community colleges?
I mean, I guess I don't understand the mindset, but I guess the argument is, oh, well, you go to Marshall. It's such a bigger college. There's more to more to offer, and like there's more people there. Oh, you're just introverted. You don't want to like see and talk to a lot of people. It's a smaller school.
Um, I kind of do. I don't really agree with people being, like introverted, and that's why they don't want to go to a full, university. But I do think out of university, obviously, you do have more degree programs. You know, obviously, the biggest pro of going to a university than a community college is you can get your bachelor's degree and even a master's. So, I mean, there's a lot more flexibility in that. Um, However, with my experience with, you know, like local community colleges, um, they're a lot more flexible with your like your work schedule, or
Oh yeah,
let's say you're
absolutely.
older and you have a kid. They're a lot more flexible with that, with like your schedule. I feel like at a university, you're more on their schedule, you know. Another thing too is with community colleges, like the classes are smaller, so you get to interact with the professors more, and you actually get to like know them. And if you're struggling in a class, it's a lot less stressful for a professor to. I mean, I'm sure it's not like that stressful at a university,
Yeah,
but it's like they have a lot less students to take care of. So
right.
they're probably going to have more time. They're probably going to be able to work with you on your schedule. Because at a university you have set office hours and that's it for the most part. You know, I mean, again, it would vary from professor to professor, but for the most part, you have your set office hours. That's it. But at a community college, I feel like they're a lot more lenient. Um,
They
there.
also, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. Good.
They also like seem to care more. Like if you're at a community college, they seem to like really care if you make it or pass a class or not. Because dude, at Mount West, holy crap! Like they are like, oh, you better show up to class or we're gonna drop you a letter grade. Like, dude, they take it seriously. They kind of treat it like high school, like used to be in a way. Like they're like, dude, if you miss, like you're getting a lot of trouble. We're gonna drop you a grade later. Like they actually care now. Whereas like Marshall, I think it depends on your professor. I've not actually been to Marshall, so I don't know, but I've heard mixed, you know, uh, I've heard mixed reviews on it. But I've heard people say, oh, they're kind of lenient on it. They don't care. Well, that's because there's so many people in a class. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just they got your money already, so they don't care. But and I guess there's more people to deal with, so they just don't really pay. I don't know. I think it really depends on the personality of your professor too. But I think more at Mount West, it's just like they really care that you pass the class. They want you to pass the class because I mean the professors I had at least were like, dude, we want you to pass because it makes it look good on them too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, um, and at Marshall, I'm sure it's the same way, but it just varies on your major and who you take and who your professor is and his personality. But I've heard less of that over at like a big campus, college campus, and that's not bad. It's just because it's a larger campus. It's huge compared. I mean, it's like miles larger than like Mount West. Because dude, Mount West is just one single building with like 4 stories and like a basement. So it's literally a single building and that's what I liked. It was smaller. It wasn't like too complex. You go to one building, you show up, and you leave. And it was nice to work there too because like I worked there as an IT, which is the major I went in for, and it was so good to like they working so well with your hours too. So that's off topic, but you know I don't know. That's just another example of why I really liked community college, and the main reason it was also cheaper. I'm not in the military, so of course none some of that stuff wasn't paid for, so I just take it out on student loans and pay it back later. So
That's okay, bro. They
uh,
don't they don't pay for it anyways. So
They
um,
claim they do. That's how they get you.
yeah, that's how they get you.
Uncle Uncle Sam's got your ass now.
Exactly. No, but I can kind of attest to the what you were talking about, how how you think Marshall doesn't, like most of their professors don't really care for their
Just
students.
depends, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for me personally, all my professors, I generally feel like they do care about me, like as an individual, especially my computer science professors. Um, like I feel like they actually really want you to succeed. Um, so yeah, it just varies, and yeah, I mean, you have some professors like that even in a community college where they just don't care, you
Oh
know.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Some are dicks. Like
yeah,
the I know like Seth took game design, right, and his professor, dude, that guy was a kind of a dick. Like, because like that's what at least that's what I was told. I mean, I don't know. I never really met the guy. I did meet him once. I had to like go in there and like mess with his shit in his classroom one day. And like he's okay, like he called me. This is a quick story. So we get a ticket and he's like, oh dude, our LAN cables are messing up. Like we don't have internet up here. So I go up there and I'm like, hey, can I look at it? And he's in the middle of class. He can't do anything. So like might as well have me look at it, right? And so I go up there and I'm like, hey, you want me to take a look at it? And he's like, I don't know, man. I'm kind of teaching a class right now. And I'm like, well, I mean, you acted like you wanted me to come look at it now. It's just the way he said it. You know what I mean? Kind of acted like a dick about it. So, just like,
I gotcha. Again, I think
what
it
what do you do?
just
So I don't
depends
know.
on the professor
Oh,
more than what
absolutely.
school you actually go to. And another thing too is like like when back when I went to a community college, when I used to tell people, hey, yeah, I'm going to this community college or whatever, they were kind of like they kind of look at you a little differently. Other like than if you would have said like, yeah, I'm going to this university or to that university. I don't know why, but like I feel like people kind of reacted to me, to my response, like differently, when I told people that I was going to a you know community college, it's like they kind of like it almost seems like they kind of feel bad for you
So,
in like a
like,
weird way, like
it's like,
they're like, oh, I'm sorry, like actually my girlfriend, this was back in 2019, I believe, when I first started, going to college. And told her that yeah, I was going, to this local community college, and I was majoring in engineering design technology, and she literally looked at me and said, "Ew." So I was
What
like, "Yeah,
the fuck?
yeah." So I was like,
Kind of rude.
okay." And like she goes to some university, and like I'm not gonna get that. But anyway, so yeah, so I was just like, okay, I guess, whatever. Thankfully they're not really friends anymore. So, so yeah. Anyways though, so yeah, I've just gotten way different responses, and when I started going to a university, you know, um, this semester, people were like, "Oh, that's cool, man. That's great." They sound a lot more like, they sound a lot more excited for you, you know, and
Yeah.
I don't know why that
I get that.
is. But that's just how people are. And if any like high schoolers are watching this, probably not. But like after high school, I didn't know what I want to do in my life.
Dude,
Like all I knew was is that I didn't want to go to college and waste money on something that I wasn't so sure I was going to want to do for the rest of my life. So I just I worked as a dishwasher at Cracker Barrel for not even a year after I graduated high school.
and the
Like
stars go. Woo!
yeah, that's another story. But yeah, so that's what I did. And then after I joined the army and everything, I got back from EIT. Then I finally decided on what I wanted to do. But if you're in high school and you're watching this, I mean, I guess the best advice I can give you is just do things on your own time. Like beginning of high school, you're 18 years old, you have your whole entire life ahead of you, right? Like you still have time to figure out what you want to do. I don't feel because like honestly, I felt kind of shitty because I thought like all my peers around me knew what they wanted to do, right? And I thought I had absolutely zero clue, you know. And but it turns out that I mean most seniors in high school don't know what they want to do. They just kind of pick something and just go with it. And sometimes it works out for them, and sometimes it doesn't. You know.
Just
So
don't be in a rush.
yeah, exactly. Just don't be in a rush. I mean, if you want to go to college, that's fine. Go to college. If you don't want to go to college, you want to join the military, or if you want to go, to like a VOTEC even, and like work in like the trade job field, that's fine too. There's nothing wrong with that, you know. Um, like I mean, Tristan, he didn't go to college. He just what did you wait? What year did you graduate high school? Same year as us?
2015.
Oh, 2015. Oh, well, you were homeschooled. So like, did that
Yeah.
play a factor in how early you graduated, or?
Yeah, I was doing all of my quote unquote classes uh, at whenever people were supposed to be 18 at 13.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
All right. So you
hmm.
graduated. So what'd you do after you got your diploma and everything?
Beat my dick.
Okay.
What else was I supposed to do? I
I mean,
graduated
I
early.
mean, I didn't know that you graduated in 2015. I thought
Yeah,
you
same.
graduated in 2017.
No,
Because you're the same age as us. So
Yeah,
no.
he
okay
worked at
then.
Kroger.
I, I I stopped early.
Yeah. So yeah, you didn't enlist in the Air Force until 2017.
2017. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, by the time I met you, I think you were already enlisted.
yeah.
Um,
Maybe, possibly that would have been like April 2017. Yeah,
yeah.
it was April 19th, 2017.
I didn't meet you until what June or July of 2017. So, um,
I met you first time at Austin's house when we were having that party there.
I was in McGregor.
yeah, the
Yes,
McGregor.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
and I saw Tristan first time. I was like, shit, dude, this guy looks really familiar. And like, he looks so familiar. And then when he said, "Oh, I was in fucking Boy Scouts," I was like, holy shit! I swear, I thought I've seen you there before.
That's me.
Yeah. But
But I
obviously,
just don't remember you at all. It's weird.
yeah. But obviously, Tristan is doing well for himself. He
Yeah.
hasn't went to any college whatsoever. And obviously he's doing well for
Didn't
himself.
go to
So,
high school.
huh?
Didn't go to high school.
Dude, honestly,
Exactly.
I'm
I
kind
mean,
of
he was
jealous.
I mean, he was homeschooled. He didn't go to college. I mean, dude's doing well for himself. All right. I mean, as
Making
is.
that fat stacks, boy.
Yeah. So
You didn't
you
miss
don't.
much from high school.
Yeah, you didn't. But so yeah, so you don't. Thing is, like, you don't have to go to college, and if you're thinking about going to a community college, do it. One, it
So
saves
much
you money.
cheaper.
Yeah, I was about to say
Yep,
that it saves you money.
absolutely.
Again, it's a lot more flexible with your schedule. And I mean, like, to me, the main reason why I did, like, yes, I could have went straight to a university and probably, I probably would have been, just fine. But to me, the idea of going to university was kind of intimidating. And so I thought going to a community college to begin with would actually kind of, like, boost my confidence. Because, like, I wasn't like, like, I got average grades in high school, you know. Um, I wasn't taking, like, honors classes or anything. But, I was just like your average B, C student, just because I just didn't really care back then, to be honest with you. I was more interested in football and video games than really anything else. So I never
Nothing
really
really.
took my. Hmm?
Hmm.
So I was just there for the snatch.
Like, yeah, like me, I just didn't care about my academics at the time. I really didn't. I mean,
Nothing really appealed to me in high school. So I'll be honest with you. I did kind of shit. Uh, I'd make C's and then maybe D's and then like anatomy. Cause like I don't care about medical shit, dude. I don't really care. It's like they would make you take stuff that you just wouldn't really have any interest in at all. Like stuff
mhm,
like that. It's like, dude, I'm not gonna like I don't care about anatomy. This I know nothing and nor do I care about anything in the medical. That not care, but it's just it doesn't appeal to me. You know what I mean? It's just not something I want to do. And it's not something I really wanted to do at all. It's just they'd make you take dumb shit,
yeah,
and I never wanted to do it. So like, it was just so boring. So like, and sure enough, once I hit college, I'm hitting like straight A's because it's something I actually really enjoyed learning about and doing and making a career out of it.
yeah,
Yeah, I usually finish top of my class, but it's whatever.
yeah. Tristan finished top of his class of, like, one, like a single person. Nothing, I mean, he doesn't mean to brag or anything, but I mean,
Yeah, no, I'm not flexing or anything, but
I don't even know where I even ranked, honestly, in my class. Like, I have no idea. So, I mean, it definitely wasn't, like, too high. So, but yeah,
Yeah,
so got wait, what?
you were still above a certain someone we know, Austin.
Yeah, I actually I think he may have been, like, dead last. So, um,
I don't know how you graduated the same year we did.
I don't either. But
He's like
anyways,
he's like
though,
2 years older
uh,
than us.
yeah. Anyways, so guys, that's it. That's all we have for you today. Thanks for watching. I don't really have a name for this podcast, like, yet, so I'm gonna have to think of one. But thanks for watching, and someone hit the final skirt.
Jesus fucking Christ.
That's 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 a good one. All right, thanks for watching.